What makes a home? Remember, that's our big question this term. Our 4 concepts: loyalty, adversity, belonging, love. Do you remember what they each mean? Loyalty, to stay faithful. Adversity, to find something difficult. Belonging, a sense of fitting in. And love, an intense feeling of liking something or someone. So we're going to recap our learning so far. The 7 continents, the 5 oceans, and then the places in the Arctic Circle that you learnt about last week. So you two, let's quickly recap our previous learning. Our 7 continents: North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, Antarctica. Our 5 oceans: Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Southern Ocean, Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean we're going to learn lots about. We also looked at last week our countries and 1 state in the Arctic. So remember, our Arctic Circle is everything that is above this piece of string on my back. Above that. Okay? So we have Alaska, Canada, Greenland, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Russia. Okay? Let's see if you can remember the flags. Remember which country's flag is this one? Finland. What about this one? Russia. What about this one? Sweden. This one? Norway. This one? Canada. This one? Greenland. Last one? So that's the United States of America, and that's Alaska's. So today's learning, we are learning to find out what is the climate of the Arctic Circle. You know what the word climate means? So climate, we're also going to think about the word tundra, and habitat, which I know you've been doing lots of work on with Miss Ward Evans in your science. So climate and habitat, they aren't the same thing, but they are very closely linked. So the climate are the weather conditions. So what the weather is like in the Arctic. The tundra is a place where very little or nothing grows because it is too cold. So the Arctic tundra is also what we're going to learn about. So got a video from YouTube for you to watch to give you an idea what it might be like in the Arctic. Because I don't think any of you would have been there before. I certainly haven't. So to find out, we need to use things like the internet to understand what it's like. So hopefully that gave you a bit of an idea of what it's like in the Arctic. So we're going to use now a page from an atlas that we actually have at school. And if you were all at school together, you would be able to have a look at this page in your own atlas in the classroom. But fortunately, I've had to have to scan it for you. Okay, so we're going to do a bit of discovering about the Arctic. So first bit, number 1. So if you can have a go at reading what the number 1 hot air balloon says. It says polar bears live in the Arctic. So we saw a polar bear in that video, didn't we? They are the biggest of all the bears. They hunt for fish and seals. Okay, so you can read number 2. Greenland is mostly white with ice, not green. These owls, so you can see the picture of the owls on the stamps, are white, so they are hard to see in the snow. Anybody know what that's called when an animal is hard to see in its environment? It means they are camouflaged. Okay, so you can read number 3. People live in the Arctic. So there are a few people. The main people who live there are called Inuit. Okay, the Inuits. And we're going to learn quite a bit about them over the next few weeks. This Inuit hunter and his dog sled team are traveling on the frozen polar sea of Baffin Bay. So they're able to walk on the sea because it is completely frozen. Okay, last bit, the amazing fact. See if you can read that one. Okay, amazing. In the Arctic, there are 24 hours of daylight in June. That means the 24 hours in one day, all of it is daylight, none of it is nighttime. And 24 hours of darkness in December. So all 24 hours in one day are dark. There is no light, no daytime in December. So very different to what it's like in the UK. So let's think about the climate. So we have 4 seasons in the UK, and most of our seasons are roughly the same length. I think you can name the 4 seasons. So in the UK, we have summer, autumn, winter, and spring. In the Arctic, they really only have 2 seasons, the summer season and the winter season. So autumn and spring are very, very short, so they don't really count as a whole season, a whole time. Winter in particular, you can imagine in the Arctic, is very long. It's much longer than summer. So they have really in the Arctic one very long season, the winter, and then a reasonable time of summer. But their summer is not like our summer. It's just different to the winter. It's all to do, remember, the climate, the weather in the Arctic. So winter in the Arctic. You can see we've got the months of the year there. November, December, January, February, March, April, and May. So November, December, January, and February, they're in the blue. What do you think that means? These are the winter months. Winter in the Arctic is very long and cold. Most of the land in the Arctic is covered in ice during this time. Sometimes the sun doesn't rise at all. We just found that out, didn't we? Sometimes in December, there's 24 hours of darkness. The sun does not rise at all. March and April, these months are the end of winter. So it's still winter. You can see already winter is 6 months long. The sun begins to rise a little higher in the sky. It is still very cold. And then May, snow and ice begin to melt at the end of May, ready for summer. So we might count that as being the spring, May. So winter there, about 6 months long in the Arctic, and then spring, about 1 month. This is what the Arctic would look like in winter. What can you see? Pause the video so you can have a little chat with the adult that's with you. What words would you use to describe what you can see? What is the Arctic like in winter based on these pictures? Summer in the Arctic. So you can see we've got June, July, August, September and October. June, July and August. These are the summer months in the Arctic. The sun rises higher in the sky. Sometimes the sun doesn't set and it stays light at night time. That's when we would have those 24 hours of day, no darkness. Most of the snow and ice on the land melts. The temperature is still quite cold. September and October, these months are the end of summer. Days become shorter and the sun begins to disappear. The sea and land begin to freeze and snowstorms occur. So this is what the Arctic looks like in summer. Again, pause the video and have a little chat. What can you see? How would you describe what the Arctic looks like in summer based on these pictures? So as I said, the Arctic climate is known as the tundra. Say that word, tundra. This means it is the coldest climate in the world. It is a dry place with not much water, which you may think sounds strange, but it's because all the water that is there, when it's on the tundra, it is frozen. So the ground is permanently frozen. None of it is wet water. The land can't support many plants or animal life. So the tundra isn't the whole of the Arctic or the Arctic Circle, but part of it, and a large part of it, is the tundra, where very little can grow and very little, or very few, animals will live. So if we use this thermometer, the UK summer is roughly the temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. Our winter, so what we're in right now, roughly about 5 degrees Celsius. It's actually been a little bit colder more recently, around the 0. So now if we think about the Arctic to compare it, the Arctic summer, you can see, is even colder than the UK winter. The Arctic summer, when things melt, is about 0 degrees Celsius. So still extremely cold. The Arctic summer is about what the temperature is like now outside in the UK, where we are now. So I don't think we would describe the temperature right now as ever being summer, but that is what the Arctic summer is like. The Arctic winter, however, extremely cold. It's into what we call negative numbers. And on average, it would be about negative or minus, we sometimes say 30 degrees Celsius. It can often get even colder than that. So maybe minus or negative 50 at times. Let's see if we can use these sentences and can you fill in the words that are top of the screen. The words we could use, we've got icebergs, snow, plants, rise, ice, cold, and below minus 30 degrees Celsius. So if we look at the side for winter, in winter there are more something in the water. Which one of these words is going to fit? Icebergs. In winter, there are more icebergs in the water. Next one. In winter, the ground is covered with so it could be snow, you could say ice, both would fit and both would be correct. So in winter, the ground is covered with ice, or ice and snow, or in winter, the ground is covered with snow. In winter, the sun sometimes doesn't something at all. That would be the word rise. In winter, the sun sometimes doesn't rise at all. Next one. In winter, the temperature can be, that one should be obvious, it's the temperature one, below minus 30 degrees Celsius. So let's think about summer. In summer, something grow on the ground. That would be plants. In summer, some plants grow on the ground. Next one, in summer, the something and something melts. So that's snow and ice again. In summer, the snow and ice melts. And last one, in summer, the temperature is still very that's the word we haven't used yet, cold. In summer, the temperature is still very cold. So you could use those sentences in your work today, or those ideas, but there's different ways you could present your work. I would like you to work in your Explore topic book, to put the date and the waltz at the top. You can see I've underlined it, so it's nice and neat. Remember, we're learning to explore the climate of the Arctic. I've then divided my page in two with a line down the middle. One side is for winter and the other side for summer. I've then started off with the sentence starters, in winter the Arctic and in summer the Arctic. You could then write some sentences for me, full sentences with capital letters and full stops, based on the things you've learned about the Arctic in winter and summer. You could just list some ideas if you want to just do lists, or you could draw pictures and label them to show the things that you've learned about the Arctic in winter and summer, or a combination of all three. So you might do a couple of sentences, some pictures, and then list the rest of the ideas. It's your way showing me what you have learned about the climate of the Arctic, about what the Arctic is like in winter and summer. But please work in your Explore topic book. Remember, you can take then a photo and upload it to Seesaw for me so I can see what you've done. If, of course, you would like to make a video as well, or record your understanding with the microphone, you can do that too. Here's an extra Explore challenge. If you would like to explore further, the school have logins to their website Adezi. So you can use this website Adezi to find out more about the Arctic and other parts of the world if you're interested in finding out about other parts of the world. The Year 2 class login details are in the instructions part of Seesaw. So look out for them if you would like to do that. I look forward to seeing your work.